What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for the day. End up having a pretty solid day overall. Go up about 2 to 3 units yesterday. This week so far, like since probably Sunday, we've had a lot of just like go down 2 units, then we go up 2 units, go down 2 units. So it's kind of just been a stabilizing type week. I talked about last week. We went up close to 40 to 50 units last week. Amazing week last week. And then some weeks are going to be more like this, a little more boring. But again, we are getting now into Wednesday, which I always say Wednesday, Thursday, that's kind of the start of our week. And once we hit these days, this is when we really ramp up the plays. I normally start sending out now 8 to 10 plays a day. Sometimes when we hit Friday, Saturday, it goes up to 11 or 12 plays a day. And especially because today I'm going to actually have the first plays of the football season this year, which is very, very exciting. It's not going to be too much going on this week. We only have the Hall of Fame game between the Lions and the Chargers, but still very exciting. And I did want to give you guys a 4-man in today's video, all correlated, and I'll kind of walk through what I'm doing with that and what we're going to be doing all season. If you guys do not know, we have gone up 350 units in each NFL and college football season over the past 2 years. So in 2023, we did it. In 2024, we did it. This year is going to be no different. I actually always hold myself to a higher standard and think probably will do even more than that, just because over that time frame, I've become a lot better at finding value and stuff like that. And you guys will see yesterday, rocky kind of day from PrizePicks on their tacos. Luckily, they do refund yesterday's play with Casey Mize. I told you guys something with this Casey Mize line was just off to me, but I don't know what happened. I think he got injured or something, but he only gets 2, and then Flandre does go over. This was the play of the day. Unfortunately, the second taco was Jackson down here, and she goes and gets like 6 points, so she does really poorly. So I doubt anyone even cashed with Flandre over, because I doubt anyone really took it with this third taco, but it kind of is what it is. The League of Legends play did end up hitting for us, but we just get refunded because of PrizePicks and because Casey Mize gets injured or whatever happened to him. This was the third one. Luckily, this pitcher here barely goes over, and then we pretty easily cashed this one here. This was a VIP play, so really great to see there. And then we also cashed this one with League of Legends correlation. If you guys do not know, I do correlation a lot on this channel. That is our main strategy. That is why we are so profitable over a longer period of time. When I start showing these graphs of how we've done over the past 30 days, the past 90 days, the past year, it is because of this exact strategy that we use, guys. The strategy is correlation and finding closing line value. So if you guys see, I take the under on one team, right? I'm betting the under on this KT team, and then the team that they are playing is this T1 team, right? We always bet on this T1 team. Sometimes we take the overs, sometimes we take the unders. In this example, I take the over on this team because these guys, if they are losing the game, which they did, I believe they got 0-2'd, right? So they lost both games. And that means that T1, what happens to them is they obviously win both games, right? Because, it's kind of like if a team is losing both games, then the team that they're facing is going to win both games. So this means that this guy gets a ton of kills. You guys see they doubled up on his line and he gets 18. We did the same exact strategy here. You guys see this hit. Unfortunately, these guys DMP'd. I don't know why, but you guys will see cash a 2.25x, which should have got like a 3x for it, but it is what it is because these guys did DMP. And then you guys will see down here, we also have correlation. It just ended up going the opposite way, right? So I take the overs and the unders just like I did in these other entries, but unfortunately what ended up happening is this guy actually goes over and then this guy goes under, right? So it goes opposite correlation, opposite of what I thought. I thought this AL team was going to be able to kind of clean sweep this we team because AL is a very, very solid team. I actually talked about this game yesterday, guys. I said AL is a top 4 team in the world, and they get pretty close, right? This guy gets pretty close to his line, but this guy goes way over assist here. So it looks like they kind of had a very aggressive game. And you guys will see here also in Counter-Strike, I've kind of been betting on Counter-Strike a lot less than I used to. I still think it's amazing. I still think it's great correlation. And you guys will see in Counter-Strike what ends up happening is you want to either take things to go under together or over together on these opposite teams, because that means if overtime happens, the overs are probably going to hit. If overtime does not happen and it's a shorter game, the unders are probably going to hit. What ended up happening in this game is this game actually went into overtime 2 games in a row. So 2 games in a row goes into overtime. That's why this guy ends up getting a ton of kills, and this guy also gets a ton of headshots because the game goes into overtime. The more rounds there are, the more kills there are, and Counter-Strike is something that we've been playing on this channel for like 15, 16 months, and it's kind of a bread and butter staple. But you guys will see, obviously it goes into overtime, so these guys go way over. If it didn't go into overtime and was a shorter game, these guys probably would have went under. So overall, if I can erase some of this, we do end up going up about 2 or 3 units. Looks like I can't erase this, but you will see here we go up 2 units because of this slip, 2 units because of this slip, and then about 1.25 off of this slip. So 2 plus 2 plus 1.5 is like 5.25, something like that. And then we missed 3 slips here. So 5, let's just call it 5. 5 minus 3 is about 2 units. So 2 to 2.5 units is what we go up. Like I said last week, we absolutely dominated. We had a 7-day 4-man entry slip streak last week. So we absolutely crushed it last week. And you guys know I always show the correlation. I always show the transparency, and I always track absolutely everything. This is since May 1st, guys. So this is now at the 90-day mark, all right? So if you do the math here, over the past 3 months, we have averaged about 50 units every single month, which means if you're a $10 bettor, you would go up about $500 every single month like clockwork, just tailing my bets. It is super easy to tail my bets. You can also get into my VIP completely free for a month, for 2 months, for 3 months, whatever it is. I'm going to have a number of ways to do so. You guys will see this graph down here. This is actually the past 60 days. So, sorry, the past 30 days. This is the past month. So this is the past rolling 30 days here. So this was back on June 30th. Now we're obviously on July 30th, and you guys will see we're up 61 units in this time frame of this rolling 30-day average, and you guys will kind of see how it's gone, over this past 30 days, right? We absolutely crushed it, and then we have a little bit of a downturn period right here. I remember actually this was the beginning of last week, and then we absolutely dominated around this time last week. We had massive days back to back on Wednesday, Thursday, and then again kind of like around like Saturday, Sunday, Monday kind of go down, and then you guys will see again we are on our trajectory up again, going up today, and again going into the weekend. If you guys do not know, if you want to see a longer term perspective, you guys know everything is tracked on this channel, and this is last year pretty much. Last year we go up 600 units, and again this is what we do. 2025 so far we're up 267 units. Everything I do is to make you guys money and to get you guys units in the long term, and that is exactly what we have done over the past 16-17 months that I've been doing this on this channel. All right, guys, if you do want to get into the VIP today, all you have to do is text me the word BOVADA to my number on the screen. It is super simple to sign up for BOVADA. It is completely free, which is massive to you. If your state is in the red right here, you guys can actually sign up for BOVADA, and it'll be completely legal for you. Once you do that, once you sign up for BOVADA and follow my steps, there are like 3 or 4 steps I will send you. It'll take like 5 minutes. I will actually Venmo or Cash App you back the 25 that you're putting into BOVADA. So super simple to do so. 2 months free of the VIP. As you guys saw this month so far, this past 30 days, we're up 61 units. So if you're a $10 bettor, you'd actually be up $610. So this could be double that, right? You'd be up more than $1,000 if you got 2 months free of the VIP doing that. You can do the same thing with Bettor. You can do the same thing with Chalkboard, and you can do the same thing with NOVIG. All right. So my number's always open. Just text me and I'll be there, respond to you guys and getting you guys signed up for these different apps, so you guys will get an additional month or 2 free of my VIP. This was a football season pass I ran the other day, but you guys will see here, the beginning of football season's here, right? We literally have the first game of the season tomorrow in the Hall of Fame game, and you guys will see last year in college football, we went up 275 units, and then in the NFL, we went up 175 units using this exact same strategy that I'm about to talk about in the next couple of seconds here. And if you add these two numbers together, that is 450 units. So again, a $10 bettor would be up close to $5,000. It'd actually be up $4,500 in the entire season last year, right? So getting into the plays of the day, guys, we do have a new tab on PrizePicks, which is NFLP, which means NFL preseason, which again means NFL is upon us. We are about 24 hours away from the preseason here, and very, very exciting stuff. I will say, guys, if you need anything to take on the preseason, always take the unders. The unders always are the move in the preseason. Never take the overs. You have no idea how long these players are going to play for. Again, Trey Lance could come in for 1 or 2 series and throw the ball 8 times, right? And go 4 for 8 or something, or even go, 7 for 8 and have a pretty good outing and only throw still like 70 yards or 60 yards or something like that. And then they just take him out and rest him and be like, all right, you're going to be our backup. So I like pretty much all of these unders, guys. I will say, even though, DJU down here is the lowest, I like his under the best. All right. DJU, I watched him all last year. He actually got subbed out at Florida State. He is not an NFL caliber player whatsoever. He got subbed out last year. He was struggling to put up like 150 to 200 yards versus the teams he was playing in college. All right. And he is just not a very good player. You guys will also see, if you don't know about the Hall of Fame game, there is limited passing and the offenses normally look very bad, right? It is a lot of hype building up around that game, but the games are normally just, very, very boring to watch, to be honest. We do have, this is what happened last year. You guys will see, Davis Mills comes in, he throws for about 102. This was the starter. And then you have Case Keenum, and then you have Tim Boyle, right? You have these guys. And again, what I want you to pay attention to is just how little these guys are throwing. All right, if you look over here, Tyson Bagent, who has played at the NFL level before and gotten 200 plus passing yard games. He's a really good passer, to be honest. He's won a lot of awards for passing. He literally threw the ball 3 times when this game happened last year, right? He's a really decent player. Like, he could be a solid backup, just like even like a Trey Lance could be, all right? And now we're talking about DJU, who I do not think he's going to pass the ball very, very much and not going to be able to move the ball either. If you look at the year before that, same sort of thing here. We have Zach Wilson, arguably a starting, quarterback. He used to start, and he only gets 65 yards. He only passes the ball 5 times. Same thing with Tim Boyle. Gets 11 passes, only passes for 61 yards. Again, Tim Boyle is a decent backup in the NFL. DJU is nowhere close to these guys. All right, he is nowhere close to these guys. Zach Wilson was a number 2 pick in the NFL draft. Same thing here. We have DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Kellen Mond. Same thing. Kellen Mond throws 19 times, right? That's a decent amount of times throwing. He only gets 92 yards, right? Kellen Mond was a 3rd or 4th round pick. DJU was undrafted, I believe. So again, DJU is not to the caliber of these guys, and I don't think, even if he throws 10 to 12 times, which would be pretty unlikely, that he's still probably going to go under here, all right? And then what we're going to pair him with is we're actually going to pair him with Jalen Johnson. I also like Brendan Rice's under here, but we are going to take Jalen Johnson, and this is what we're going to do all season, guys. If there's one thing to take away from this video, you're going to hear about this all season long, and it's going to be with football correlation, right? This is how we make so much money. It is because if the quarterback does not pass very much, if the quarterback gets, let's just say DJU comes out with Jalen Johnson, in their team, and DJU only throws for 20 yards, what possibility is that Jalen Johnson going to get 25 yards, right? The less the quarterback gets yard-wise, the less his receiver is going to get yard-wise, all right, guys? So again, this is football correlation to a T. If you have a person not throwing very many yards, you're going to have the receiver not catching many yards, right? On the opposite side of that, if you have a quarterback throwing for 400 yards, then his number 1 target, like let's just say Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce, if Patrick Mahomes throws for 300, 400 yards, Travis Kelce is probably going to get 90 to 120 yards in that game because he is one of the top targets on the Chiefs. At least he was. So that is going to be the first part of the play. The second part of the play, we're actually going to head over to League of Legends, and the same exact thing applies. It is using correlation. That is our strategy long term. This is why we have been so profitable over the long term, guys. And we're going to come down and take hype over at 8 kills, and then we're going to go down to the combo here, and we're going to take these guys here, Vikla plus Dable, to go under 13.5. All right, so there might be a little bit of bumps going on here. I think honestly it's fine to take hype at 8 and 8.5. So if he bumps to 8.5, I still kind of like it. And then Vikla and Dabble, as long as this goes to 13.5 or 13, that's still very, very solid. If hype does for some reason, because I think his line should be around 9, if his line does bump to something like 9 or 9.5, something crazy, you guys can also take Morgan over. So it would just kind of look like this. Or you could take Croco. Actually, no, I'm going to say Morgan or Closer. All right, so these would be kind of the replacements here. I probably like Morgan a little bit more, but Closer is also very solid. But if you can get hype at 8 or 8.5, this is going to be the play, all right? So again, this is a 4-man entry. That is something that we would honestly love to play on the VIP, something like that. And you guys will see the most important part of this, there is no payout shift whatsoever. All right, there's no payout shift. Now, if you go try to build a correlated, correlated slip with anything else, with football or other things out there, you guys will get like as low as like a 6x, right? And this is the strategy we have used on the VIP. You guys will see no payout shift whatsoever, and we have correlation up here with these Chargers pair, and then we have correlation down here with this Bro plus BFX team right here, because again, if Bro is winning this game, if they get more and more kills and they're winning this game more and more, hype is going to get more kills, and this duo is going to get less kills, right? It's exactly what we did in some of these entries that I just talked about today, right? One guy over, exactly like this, right? I take one guy over, and I take one guy, 2 guys to go under, right? That's exactly what we do. We get no payout shift for it. It's amazing, right? So that's going to be the play of the day. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. If you guys want to get into the VIP and start betting like that, start betting with correlation and pretty much instantly become a profitable bettor overnight, all you have to do is sign up for these different apps that I tell you about. You can also purchase a month or week pass of the VIP. I can get you guys a discount on that. And you guys can start betting in the NFL preseason, because honestly, the preseason is very profitable, to be honest. The lines are normally way too high. A lot of people are really excited about NFL season, and they're excited about seeing some of these players they've been hearing about all offseason, play for the first time and stuff, and they take the overs a lot, and the unders are normally where it's at. So again, you guys know where to find me. My number is right here on the screen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.